Hello! Welcome to Anime Mystics. I'm Roman, and tonight I am watching Mairimashita Iruma-Kun episodes 4 and 5. It took a little bit to see if the last few episodes would make it to 50. Episode 2 was like 3 short, but episode 3 made it, so that one, including the first episode, make it 2 out of the first 3 weeks. It seems like this one always gets around 50, so again, unless it makes or has a huge nosedive in viewership, it'll stay. But if it does, like let's say drops to like 10, 15 views, then it'll probably get dropped. But it seems to have a steady viewership so far, so we'll see. So last episode, they hung out with a new friend named Clara. She's a bit energetic, to say the least. Very hyper, constantly wants to play. Everybody considers her a weirdo. Asmodeus, I think that's how you say it, or Az is what he told him to call him, suggested that he just not associate with her at all. But he couldn't do that. She asked him to play with her, so he did. Because we know he can't say no to a request. And then he asked Asmodeus, or Az, to join them, so he did. As it turns out, there's another group of 3 guys that talk to her, but only because they know that she'll give them things. So basically, they're using her. She has these little pouches that she could touch, and it'll make whatever, I think she said, whatever she's seen or touched before. And she just pull them out of her pockets. So they'll ask for like drinks or snacks or something, and she'll just give it to them, and then they'll like throw something like they're playing with her, and then run off. Like one time they made her play. They were playing hide and seek, and they told her to count to 50,000, and then they just went off. She even overheard them talking about the new guy, Iruma, and how he's still associating with her, and the other guy's like, well, why wouldn't he? She just gives you whatever you want. No, you don't even have to really do anything. Just play with her every once in a while, and she gives you whatever. And basically, she knows what's going on. She knows that the only reason those guys are hanging and like even talking with her at all is because she gives them things. She kind of figures that the only way anybody will ever play with her or hang out with her is if she gives them something or constantly gives them things. So she goes to Iruma again and starts giving him snacks and drinks, and he's like, no, I don't want this. And she thought that was him saying that he didn't want to play with her anymore. So she started to cry, and he's like, no, that's not the case. Look, I still want to play with you, but you don't have to give me things in order for me to play with you. So she was happy about that. And then when those 3 guys came by again, asking for drinks, she pulled a vending machine out of her pocket and hit the leader with it. And then they ran off. See, the second part of the episode, they were going to the cafeteria to eat lunch. And seeing as how they haven't been given their ranks yet, they only get to choose from a very minimal menu. Because apparently, the menu you can choose from depends on your rank. And since they're unranked, they're at the very bottom. So they get basically the crappy food. Iruma has basically stated that demon food looks weird and disgusting, but actually tastes really good. Anyway, he told, or Az said that he would decide on some stuff for him to try. So he said, okay, and went to get a table, and when Az came back, he had a few things selected. But these other guys decided to try to play a prank on Iruma and send him a ton of food, which Az was going to go talk to them about. But before he could, Iruma had already eaten everything that they had given him. And then he asked for more, and more, and more, and ate everything that was given to him. Clara was getting in trouble with the guy at the store shop because she was making the stuff that he was selling, so he considered it stealing, and was getting pretty mad at her. And then they got involved, and then his familiar showed up. I can't remember the name of the teacher, but he showed up trying to find out what all the commotion was about. And there was Iruma, the one person he didn't want to see. And then Clara found out that he was his familiar, and he's like, I want to see you summon him. Grabbed this little summoning circle from the store and gave it to him and said, I told him to do something, which he did, and then he summoned him as his familiar, so he turned into that little purple bird. Then the guy that ran the store tried to kill them. So they ran off, and he held on to the bird and was going to eat him, but he turned back into a demon and ran off because the summoning circle that they had from the store, it's temporary. Like, it doesn't last that long. Later on, they went back to the store and gave them money and was saying, look, I'm sorry, here's for all the summoning circle, the snacks we took, stuff like that. And yeah. Also found out that Iruma has finally been given a class along with Az and Clara, because they hadn't been given a class yet. And they are in the delinquent class, basically. The misfits. They're in that class because they've been causing some trouble. So I guess that's where we're going to meet all the other people in the opening. So let's get into this. Alright, so the video is going to be located over here. And the link to the reaction is going to be in the description down below. And we're going to start this episode in 3, 2, 1.